Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new F1 2021 pre-season league race. This is a PSGL pre-season league race again, and this time we're racing around Spain. I did one practice session before this and I did half an hour of time trial, but it was presets again and I had no idea what to use. So a lot of people were going for preset 1, which is maximum downforce, which obviously will probably work pretty well. I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna go with this one. I don't give a shit. But as you can hear me say, joking around with the presets, I'm gonna go preset 2, which is a little bit lower downforce, but it's probably not gonna be as fast in qualifying. But maybe we can do some more overtaking in the race. I don't expect to be the fastest in this qualifying session, as I only did one practice session, and some people were sweating for it for hours and hours. So. Yeah, obviously presets not very important. It's not a very important race in general. It's just a preseason race, but we still want to win it, of course. If we can win this with such little practice, then that will be absolutely amazing, of course. So it's gonna be interesting to see how we're gonna do in this qualifying session. Maybe I might go for P11 as well, because usually alternate strategy works very well around Barcelona. As I blocked Jake a little bit, our teammate for this race, just like last race, or last preseason race around Silverstone. The actual league racing season is probably going to start around 16th of August. Actually, I'm going to put the calendar right in front of you right now. If you wonder when our races, basically the right dates is the Formula 1 division, and the left dates is the Formula 2 division. I'm of course in the Formula 1 division, so my first race is on 16th of August on Bahrain, and then France, Belgium, Netherlands, Italy, Silverstone, Red Bull Ring, China, Japan. Then there's a break week, and then we're gonna add to Mexico, United States, Brazil, and then the last one is probably gonna be one of the new tracks. So that's gonna be interesting. Last season I won the championship, of course, and this season we're gonna try to do that again. As you can see, Tomac Porazzi is 14.3. I managed to do a 14.1 in my practice session, I think so. Which I was pretty happy with. I saw some people in practice sessions do 13.9s, but with one session of preparation, that's not looking very likely. Of course, once the actual season starts, I'm gonna be practicing much better, but I just didn't feel like it was worth my time to practice with presets, as that's not what we're gonna be racing with anyway. But still, it's fun to do some league racing on the new, or preseason league racing on the new game. So that's why I'm participating, of course. And I think our pace is not gonna be too bad, even though we didn't prepare that much. Into turn 1, down to 4th gear, use a lot of the curb, or basically everywhere. Okay, this one is not this preset flat out. Might not be good, considering the understeer right through there. I felt like the understeer with the preset 2, or I feel like we had a lot more understeer with the preset 2, but we were really fast in sector 1, because the straight around Barcelona is pretty long, of course, so we gained quite a lot of time on the straight there, but then the middle sector here, we're probably going to be losing quite a bit of time. Currently we're just trying to get a decent benchmark in. Oh, the understeer. Disgusting. As you hear me say, understeer is absolutely disgusting, which is just common with presets. The presets are obviously made for a little bit more normal people, who just like to play the game casually, and then it's pretty handy to have a little bit more understeer, as it's more safe, I would say. Going through the final sector, or final chicane now, sorry, up to the line. I think it's gonna be on 114.5. Which is half a tenth behind Frederik Rasmussen, who finished P2 in the last F1 esports season. He was my main rival, of course. And now I'm gonna start my second lap, the second push lap. On my first set I didn't improve, and this was my only push lap on this set of tires. And then I basically invalidated before I started. So that was not ideal. But now, this time around, I make sure to not invalidate it before I start. We're currently P16, so we're quite far down the grid. But we are one of the last that's gonna finish our lap. Into turn 1, a lot of traffic. I think a lot of people have already finished their lap. into turn 1 and 2. We go 300s up, and then through turn 3, a lot of understeer, small lift, and then up to sector 2. Turn 4 coming up, we go purple. 1.5 times faster than Freddy Rasmussen, but that's our strong sector, of course. This is a sector where you're gonna need a lot of downforce, and the same for the last sector as well, which we don't have because we chose preset 2. 1.5 times up, not a great left-hander there. Up to turn 9, not flat out, a corner where you need a lot of downforce, somehow was not invalid. I'm quite sure I went off track there, but it was not invalid. Still 1.5 times up on Freddy Rasmussen, a bit wide through the hairpin, but we carried a lot of speed. Big snap of oversteer again, going through turn 11.
P11.
And as you can hear me say, because it's not that great of a lap, I'm gonna aim for P11, because I don't want to be starting on old softs in P8, of course. Then I might as well start on P11 on new hards. So I'm gonna be lifting a little bit just before the line, but it was too much, and we only go P15.
Didn't really manage to.
Of course, I don't have an engineer in the preseason races, so it's not ideal. I'm not gonna be knowing what other people are doing. A teammate, Jake Panham in P9 on softs, and Joni Tormela in a prime position in P11 for the alternate strategy, where we would have liked to be, but we didn't manage to. So we're gonna be starting P15. A lot of work to do for this 33 lap race. We're gonna be starting on the hards, as you can see here, and then we're gonna be moving on to the mediums.
I don't want.
Both the hards and the mediums can do a lot.
I have no idea how much fuel to put.
Let's go 0.8. I have no idea, man. I don't know. Oh, I'm the only one on hards, isn't it? Oh yeah, that's gonna be great. Oh no, actually, never mind. Everyone on hards.
Everyone might have already tired. Damage
Yeah,
is on,
as you could hear me say there, first I thought everyone's going mediums, but eventually everyone outside of the top 10, as far as I could see, went for the hards as well. So all equal competition, more or less.
Oh, there's
as Josh came driving by, was disconnected, but I think he might reconnect before the start of the race actually. So he was lucky to get back in to the race. Now, start of the race, first league race around Barcelona for me, or preseason league race. It's not an official championship. 5 red lights, and away we go. And initially, pretty good start, I would say, better than Dario Lemullo ahead of us in AlphaTauri. Oh my god, Joe had a very good start as well. Into turn 1, we go through the middle of Joe and Dario Lemullo, which is pretty tricky, of course. You don't want to get squeezed as a sandwich in turn 1 and 2, but we managed to go through, and we've gained 2 positions in the first sector of this race.
Overtake button already not working.
As you can hear me say,
Great
overtake
success.
button not working. I was really struggling with the overtake button for some reason.
Oh man, this is such a disaster.
Which is because I think it's just a bug, because sometimes I had to press the overtake button around 10 times to get it on or off, which is just not ideal. I tested the wheel in or outside of the game, and it worked fine. I could press 100 times and it would work 100 times. So it's definitely the game. But yeah, we just have to deal with it for now. I changed the overtake button to hold after this race, so I don't have this issue anymore where it doesn't turn on. If you change it to hold, then it will work at all times basically. But it's annoying because you have to hold your thumb on that position all the time, so you can't move your hand around after that. But anyway, we just have to deal with it. Now, starting lap 2 of this 33 lap race, you can see the preset 2 has a lot more straight line speed. Joni Tormela on preset 1, and we're gonna go down the inside of turn 1 and up to P12 after only just over 1 lap, of course.
Work! Turn on the overtake!
As you can even say there, guys, overtake button not switching on. But we've gained 3 positions so far in just over 1 lap, so great start to this race already. And now we've got Alvaro Carreton, who is basically leading the ultimate strategy pack in this race. Moving on to the end of lap 5 now.
Pits already? Surely that's a 2-stop, right? Or are they going 25 laps on hards?
as Patrick and
Interesting line.
Simon
McLaren.
Weigang both came into the pits from softs to hards. So they're probably going to be doing 26, 27 laps. Actually, it's 27 or 28 laps on the hards. So that's going to be a big stretch, but they might get an undercut here. And now, moving on to lap 7, more and more people coming
I think
into
he
the
can't
pits.
be arsed anymore.
As you can see, Freddy Rasmussen disconnecting from the race.
Just
you can
3
say
seconds. Oh, yeah, that's
he probably didn't want to drive anymore, but
he went wide again.
he just had a game
What
crash.
is he doing?
Yeah. Unfortunate for Freddy with a game disconnect, or not a disconnect, a game crash. Josh struggling with turn 1, as he went wide twice now and already had a 3-second penalty because of it. So Josh struggling with turn 1 so far, and he is staying out the longest from the soft runners. And now he's gonna get catched by me and Alvaro.
9 for the sub.
As
Josh still
Alvaro
going strong.
is going for it into turn 1, past Josh Ido.
On
So
those softs.
Josh really struggling on those softs after 10 laps, but he's gonna have much better hards towards the end of the race. Of course, you can see
A little bit of a wiggle.
this back end stepping out for turn 3. A little bit of a wiggle, as you can even say. And now Josh is gonna come into the pits as well. He's gonna give us DRS, which is amazing.
Well, let's close this gap.
And
Presets
now we have to
OP.
try. Now we have to try and get into the DRS from Alvaro again. Luckily, we got DRS from Josh. So into turn 1, we're within 1 second, of course. But now the high downforce part is coming up. So we're gonna be struggling a little bit through the corners again. So Alvaro is gonna pull a little bit of a gap again through in the middle sector. We went purple sector 1 actually.
Sheesh.
On those old hards, or not old, but they're getting a little bit older now. 11 laps done, and you can see we put the fastest lap of the race after 11 laps on those hards. So currently fastest on
Alvaro's
track.
out of the ERS already anyway. I'm gonna get him.
Let me say Alvaro running out of ERS, so we're gonna get him. We're not gonna get him, but we're gonna get in his DRS by the end of this lap. And now we move on to 5 laps later. We have catched up to Alvaro again, and we're getting closer and closer to our pit window. So I recharged my ERS behind Alvaro, and now I want to pass him. So yeah, he just got 3 seconds, as you can hear me say, lol. Alvaro got 3 seconds penalty there for track limits. So he's not really going to be a major factor in this race anymore for us if we don't get a penalty. We don't have a warning yet, so into turn 1 we're going to pass him into the race lead for now. But of course we still have to make a pit stop. Lucas Blakely with the fastest lap of the race, 16.9, and Lucas is in the net lead at the moment. He had pole position as well, of course. He's driving an amazing race. And now towards the end of lap 18 we're going to come into the pits and go for the mediums, because we don't want to get undercut by Yoni or Alvaro. So they both stay out, but we're going to come into the pits. 80 kph speed limit, so we need to slow down in time, of course. And now you can see pit window has opened for the mediums. That's why we have come into the pits.
Perfect.
For mediums, and we just come out of Omega Joe. Lucas Blakely already passed us, so he's absolute miles ahead. He's probably around 10-12 seconds ahead of us. But of course he's going to be in older hards and we are new mediums. We come out in P11 just behind our teammate Jake,
in the pit stop.
who I think might have damage, because I'm quite sure he was further up the grid earlier on in the race. We're ahead of Simon Weigang, who got damage, or not damage, he disconnected, sorry. He disconnected earlier on in the race, but now he's driving again.
Okay, interesting.
So it's gonna be a good race for us now, because we're on new mediums versus everyone ahead on old hards. I'm planning to get past our teammate on the main straight, so I'm not gonna use too much ERS the remainder of this lap. But then, as I went through turn 9, Jake pulled off to the side to let me through. He didn't have to, because otherwise I would have passed him on the main straight anyway. But of course, now he doesn't give us dirty air through the last sector, so I'll take it up to P10. And now Jake can stick with us. Actually, he dropped back after a few laps already. Fast lap of the race. 16.2, and we are
DRS.
1.3 seconds
doesn't matter.
behind Cedric Tomei now. And there's a big group of cars ahead. You can see Cedric Tomei, Tomek Poratsis, Fabrizio Donoso, and Nicolas Longue all in this train of cars. And then Lucas Blakely is absolutely miles ahead. 6-7 seconds ahead of Nicolas Longue is Lucas Blakely. And now we're going to turn on the overtake button to try and get past Cedric Tomei, my ex-teammate, when I was back driving in 2019 for Renault. So we get past him into turn 1 up to P5. You can see Nicolas Longue has a 3-second penalty. But
Tomek might be on preset 2 as well.
But first up is Tomek Poratsis. You can maybe say maybe he's on preset 2, but I'm quite sure almost everyone was on preset 1 because it was just a faster preset around Barcelona. But because we're on preset 2,
ahead,
we can actually overtake in this race, because otherwise it would have been a lot harder to overtake. We went purple sector 1 with the help of DRS and ERS, of course, but we're probably not going to improve our fastest lap as we are stuck behind Tomek through the final sector. You can see we've already lost at 1.5 tenths through the second sector, as yeah, we just have to struggle with the dirty air. And now we're going to set up a move on Tomek. We are on those fresh mediums, of course, which have a lot of mechanical grip compared to the hards, and that's what you need in that final sector. Now, trying to get a good exit, turn on the overtake button, and then with the help of slipstream and our lower downforce preset, we're gonna go down the inside in turn 1, 337 kph top speed into turn 1. That shows how long the Barcelona straight is. No one actually really notices, I feel like, that the Barcelona straight is really long. But yeah, now behind Fabrizio Donoso, 110 green in sector 1 again. As we're gonna try and line up a move again on Fabrizio Donoso, maybe into turn 10 already, which is the very tight hairpin in the final sector. But we're gonna have a mega run, or we're gonna have to need a mega run out of turn 9 to do that. And usually you get a lot of dirty air through turn 9, which we get. We're a little bit closer to Fabrizio than Fabrizio is to his teammate, of course. So we can't do anything into turn 10. Fabrizio goes a little bit wide, which makes us gain time, of course, and set up the move even easier in the final straight. Now, towards the final chicane of this lap, and you can see we're closer to Fabrizio than we were to Tomek, so we're gonna get a lot of slipstream on this main straight. Again, reaching very high top speeds with this low preset downforce setup into turn 1. Nicolas losing a lot of time because he didn't have the DRS or overtake button.
Go off!
Didn't turn off again.
Game, man. How hard can it be to make a overtake button work properly? How hard? Like, I have to press it 10 times. It's ridiculous.
So yeah, overtake button. It's really tricky if it doesn't turn off, because you suddenly have like 100 horsepower more coming out of the corner. So if you apply the throttle the same, it's gonna snap, and especially if you don't know it stays on, it's really, really tricky. So another reason I changed to hold instead of toggle on the overtake button, because I can't risk spinning out of an F1 Esports race or a league race.
Lucas gets so far ahead.
And as you can see now, Lucas 6.7 seconds ahead, and we only got 8 laps to go after we finish this. Actually, sorry, 9 laps to go. So we're gonna have to get past Nicolas on this lap, because otherwise there's no way we're gonna make it to Lucas, who's driving an absolute amazing race today, because he's 6 seconds ahead of everyone.
Is 6.6 seconds. They're on old hards. Their tyres are 15 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:17.1. You're closing by 4 tenths per lap.
That's not enough.
So yeah, if we're only gonna gain 4 tenths per lap, we're not gonna catch him. We need 7, 8, 9 tenths per lap to catch him.
Ahead is 5.7 seconds. They're on old hards. Their tyres are 16 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:17.1. You're gaining by 8 tenths. 8 tenths.
That's what I like to hear. That will be enough. Running out of time.
Gap to car in front is 4.5 seconds. They're on old hards. Their tyres are 18 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:16.9. You're gaining by around 6/10 a lap.
We're not gaining enough.
The gap to the car ahead is 3.5 seconds. They're on old hards. Their tyres are 20 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:16.8. You're closing by 4/10 per lap.
What do you dump, Jeff? 16.2 versus 16.8. 6 cents. Right, we are within his penalty window. Almost. Come on, penalty. Come on, Lucas. You can feel the pressure. Get that extra warning, mate.
So yeah, as you can hear me say there, we are not gaining enough. There's still a 3-second gap, and we're nearing towards the final 2 laps of the race. We need Lucas to get a penalty to win this race at this point. Everyone behind us has a penalty, but I have no idea how much warnings Lucas has, as I have no engineer at the moment in preseason league racing. 2.3 seconds going into the final lap, so we're not gonna win unless Lucas gets a penalty. Our tyres were just dropping off slightly faster than the hards, of course, which makes sense. Lucas was nearing maybe not a puncture, but he was getting quite high on tyre wear, as all hard runners basically pitted pretty early. Alvaro Caraton up to P3, but he has a 6-second time penalty, so he's not gonna finish there, obviously. So yeah, I think a pretty good race from us, P15 to P2. Of course, it's a lot about learning in the preseason league races.
We came close, but maybe if I didn't choose this YGS preset 2, it wouldn't have been such a disaster.
So as you can hear me say there, preset 2 was not ideal, but it did help us overtake people. So it was clearly not the fastest one, but in some race scenarios it was definitely better.
Overtake button.
And yeah, the overtake button was not ideal as well, but that's why we're doing these races, to learn before the actual season starts. And I'm happy I did it, and I'm pretty happy with the results.
5.4k viewers, sheesh, that's a new record.
So that once we get into the actual season, we can absolutely be on our game. We're a driver of the day though, which is because we went from P15 to P2. The game just gives the driver of the day to whoever gains the most positions. Lucas wins, and very deserved as well. He drove phenomenal and was extremely fast. So hope you guys enjoyed this preseason league race. There are gonna be more coming. I think we're gonna be doing around 6 or 7 of those. It's obviously still 2 or more than 2 weeks away before the official season starts, and yeah, I just enjoy those. It's just for fun, it's nothing serious, and that's why I enjoy doing them at the moment, so we can learn in a fun way and yeah, give some nice content to you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed this race. Make sure to like and subscribe if you guys want to see more, and see you guys next time. Ciao.